That's it.
That's it? Okay. No, she doesn't want to do anything. Is there anybody else in the room that would like to share? There's one.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. This was my first experience participating in a Festival of Holy Name, and yesterday was an amazing experience. I have chanted 64 rounds for the first time in my life, and I was wishing so that I have heard that when we are chanting with holy Vaishnavas, we get spiritual experience, taste of holy name. And I was asking from our elder devotees whether you, Maharaj, will be able to chant with us. And thanks to Krishna, thanks to you, dear Guru Maharaj. You were chanting with us, and I was so in ecstatic mood, and I'm still in ecstatic mood. And yeah, and as you have said, half of presentations I was not understanding due to English, but I got spiritual bhakti. Thank you very much.
Well, you speak English. You know, there's a devotee from China, and she says, I speak two languages. I speak Chinese, and I speak Chinese English. So you speak...
I'm not Chinese.
No, but I'm just, so
Yeah.
your English is fine. I can
Thank you.
understand everything. So yeah, I think you're being modest about what you understood. Maybe you didn't understand everything, but you're being modest. I'm sure you understood.
And I'm so excited to get Srimad Bhagavatam in Russian language and start reading.
Well, are there persons that you'll be able to read in Russian with? Because reading with someone is always nice. Do you know anyone that does that? You know anyone else who you can read with in Russian?
Yes, I know. Yeah. I was just.
At least one person, 2, 3 people is nice. But read with someone, that's nice.
Yeah.
And you'll share, but you'll also stay with it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Krishna Krishna. Very enthusiastic. Utsahan. You know the meaning? Utsahan means enthusiasm. Utsahan. Rupa Goswami. Utsahan.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity that we got yesterday to do the 64 rounds. We have been chanting for a while and into so many services, but some point of time we lost the focus that the whole point of Krishna consciousness is taking the holy name to the heart. And yesterday was a wonderful opportunity, and the presentation that Paramarup Prabhu did, it was wonderful. Like whenever we were chanting, we were able to envision each part of Krishna, Radha Shyam Sundar, and focus on the part and develop that mood. That was a surreal experience for me. Thank you so much.
Good. Good. Anybody else would like to share?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have attended many of these retreats here, but yesterday was 64 was my first time. And the one thing, it was slow for me initially. When I started chanting, it was slow. Then I kept the pace. Maybe after 20 rounds, I don't even know I completed 48 rounds. And then After all this, one miracle happened. That miracle is we are actually chanting, asking for the service of Krishna, Radharani, Hare, 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 give me service of Krishna. And the evening, there is something popped up that the Chintamani Mataji was supposed to do the dressing, and she had a desire to go for Harinam, and she was looking for someone can do the night dressing for Radha Shamsundar. Then I grabbed it, so I felt, see, Krishna is giving an opportunity to serve. So we are actually praying. What are we praying? We are praying to give service of Krishna. So that was my realization. Thank you very much for that.
Nice. Nice. Well, Jamuna Jivana made a comment that of the other times we've had these events, it's the 64-round day has become a 32-round day because it was a half a day. But as it happened, because the 4th of July was not on a weekend, anyway, it worked out so we could have a full 64 rounds and on top of that go in Harinam in the evening.
And also I was here with the devotees, and I have some strong affection now. What I can say, strong desire to go and chant along with Tulasi garden. So I went home back, I chanted around 12 rounds, I think 16 rounds there. It was in a different mood because I don't know what happens when you chant in front of Tulasi. It is different experience. So it was really good for me, all alone. The weather was so good, and then it was very kind of soothing experience. I heard many times if you go under the shelter or shadow of Tulsi Maharani, that will be ecstatic. Some kind of experience I had yesterday. Thank you.
Well, I know Mataji, this comment about chanting with you all, I don't know if you heard it, but I was up at 1:30. Mataji, I was up at 1:30 a.m., 1:30 in the morning. I was... So I finished, I mean, I could have continued, but I decided that I would just, I chant a few rounds and then do some other service. Because I've got another seminar after this, then another seminar after that one, another seminar after that one, and I've got like... And he wants me to go to Toronto. And Amrita Kelly wants me to do this and do that. So, how did you do, Jamuna Jivana? Did you cross the finish line? Let's hear. Little something.
Thank you, Maharaj. It was very special. The last time I chanted 64 rounds was actually 72 rounds. Was back in 2012, Maharaj, when you did the Japa retreat in Gitanagari. And I was contemplating the question I asked you in your response to me the morning of, or the previous morning.
Yeah.
So that really was a very moving exchange, especially as it relates to shifting from self-centeredness to centered around Krishna. And when I was giving class,
I saw your topic. I wasn't there for class, but I saw the topic.
Something that came out spontaneously during the talk was how determination touches hearts, and our attempt at japa is to touch Krishna's heart, to express our determination to touch Krishna's heart. And so even though there was some feelings and feeling moved by Krishna's kindness during japa, I was seeing a shift, a little bit of a shift, that it really doesn't matter what I'm experiencing. It's more important that Krishna be pleased by this effort. And that led to more feeling pained by my own disqualification and
Humility's nice.
grateful.
Humility's nice.
Yes, Maharaj.
It can be a wet rag, but it can also be an inspiration.
Yeah. I think and throughout the whole 64 rounds, Maharaj, what sort of gave me a lot of humility, gratitude, and direction in my japa was that snippet of Prabhupada speaking, where he says, "What have you got? What is of value? It is nothing. The only thing is your feeling, Krishna. I am most rotten, fallen, but I brought this thing for you. Kindly take it." So that it brought this thing for you is me. I'm bringing me that's rotten and fallen for you, Krishna. So the whole, I recited that out of memory. I didn't look at my phone as you requested with pretty please.
With sugar on top.
With sugar on top. I didn't look at the phone for 9 hours in the day.
Good for you.
To just...
Good for you. What a relief.
I will admit that there was, look at it, no. And I stopped myself. So it was a very special experience, but what I'm taking as like the thing to go forward with is shifting from self-centeredness to Krishna's pleasure, Maharaj. And it's a very, I think, a deep thing, and I'm just sort of maybe touching the shore of. So I'm very appreciative of your doing all of this.
Mukunda started it. I think you can thank Mukunda for starting that ball rolling. Really genuine and heartfelt. Mukunda, do you want to share anything with us on your experience yesterday? I don't usually call on people like this.
I don't have anything very relevant to the chanting aspect to share because I didn't chant yesterday.
Okay.
But I did have a few very nice conversations over the course of the weekend with different devotees, just reflecting on some of the discussions that were had in the class, some of the questions that were asked, and I think, these days I find it's almost like when someone expresses that they're having a challenge, it's almost more inspiring than if they say everything's going fine, because it's very relatable and it's very even hearing Yamuna Jivan Prabhu share about
that was nice.
Yeah, that was very touching to hear. And even as he's expressing his feeling of not being worthy, of course, I feel his genuine emotion there, and then simultaneously, as an observer, I feel that he's worthy, right? And I think devotees feel that looking at each other, like it seems like very appropriate to look at someone else and feel like, no, you are worthy, but to look at ourselves and feel that we're not worthy. And so having these kind of exchanges over the course of the weekend with some devotees was very touching for me. That was the highlight that I had.
Nice. Okay. I'll try to refrain from calling on people right now. Invite people to volunteer. Okay. I do know how to call on people.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I haven't heard many classes. This is the 10th year I'm attending the Festival of Holy Name. And it's one of the very touching time for me in my relationship with the Holy Name. I carried this weekend almost for like many months. Yesterday I was just praying. Yes, I may not be able to be with the Holy Name for a long time, as long as I would desire to, but just let me be able to chant 16 rounds very attentively with feeling, and then joyfully serve the Vaishnavas so that it can help their relationship with the Holy Name. And I was just so touched by the reciprocation of Radha Shyam Sundar and your presence that really made it so. I was just crying, more crying than chanting. I completed 32 rounds, but probably the most meaningful and most touching rounds I have ever chanted in my life. Thank you so much.
Anybody else want to share?
Hare Krishna. So I was reflecting, there were so many wonderful things I've heard and experienced. The most recent one, I actually had this morning 2 questions to you, Maharaj. And then I'm like, okay, Krishna knows what I need to hear, so I just let go of the second one. And then I'm having a conversation with Rupa Mataji, which is kindly hosting me. And she brought exactly the same point, which I was going to ask you.
So now you're going to do it.
Which is about I and mine, and then the spiritual dimension of it, which is I am yours and you are mine. And she just repeated you, Maharaj, but when she said it, I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm finally starting to get it. I am Krishna's. I know this is just like, I'm just like, open the door, right? I'm Krishna, I'm yours. And it just feels so wonderful. I cannot even express fully, but that brings like dependence on Krishna, because I see so much in myself. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it. But no, Krishna can do what he wants with me. I need to let go and let him.
What about the second part? I am yours and you are mine.
I've heard that this is a very high level, so I'm not going to touch that.
Well, here's a shoehorn. So your foot will fit in the shoe if you use the shoehorn. It's something similar to what Jamuna Jivana shared, what Prabhupada said, what do I have? It's insignificant. It's yours anyways, but you just kindly accept. So what is it that's yours? So there's 2 parts of material consciousness. I, which is I am yours, and then mine. So what's mine? Nothing is mine. Nir mama. But there is something that's mine. My relationship, not Krishna is in my pocket, but my relationship with you is my everything. I am yours, and you could say, my relationship with you is all that I possess. Because like this devotee was given the name mamata, that's the meaning. It's possessiveness. So what do you possess? A relationship with Krishna. Not you possess, literally you possess Krishna. Now, in Goloka, they possess Krishna. They control Krishna. They're not thinking I'm going to control Krishna, but they control Krishna with their love. Krishna becomes controlled by their love. So I am Krishna's, and Krishna is mine. So so meditate 2 things. Meditate on the second half, and it may take a while because you're, as you said, I'm just on the shore of one, what to speak of the other. But meditate on, then stay with it. there's something about visuals that help me grasp. So that example of the magnifying glass and the light of the sun. Just stay with it. Keep those two phrases, I am yours and you are mine, that's the magnifying glass. And hold it steady. And you can understand whatever Krishna permits you to understand. That's up to him. But you just hold it, because that's spiritual reality. Just hold it in place. And then the power of Krishna will do magic. And that's the mystery that was this morning class. The mystery of devotional service that transforms in due time into ecstasy, it transforms in due time into prema. And we don't have to I want to get to prema. You just, Krishna, I am yours. And hold it. And through the medium of your service, starting with chanting and then the other things that you do. I am yours. The same thing as he said. What do I have to offer? Insignificant. It's yours anyways. So you kindly accept. I am yours. And that relationship, that's mine. I don't possess anything else. Akinchanatvam. Another phrase that I used in the course of that presentation. Akinchanatvam. Ananyagatitvam is I don't possess anything. I am yours. And akinchanatvam. Yes.
During the reflection and integration circle that I had the privilege to facilitate, I encouraged all of us to write down our sankalpa. So in doing that exercise, I shared mine. Something that I've noticed when I chant is that every distraction that my mind goes to, it's because of affinity or identification with a particular upadhi.
With a particular
Upadhi.
upadhi.
So, seeing how last year when my father passed away, every upadhi got burnt to ashes, whether that was the upadhi of being an Air Force officer, the Indian flag was placed on his body because he was an Air Force officer, there was a whole ceremony about that, or the identification of being the head of the household, and all of those upadhis. So when my mind was wandering yesterday, I would tell my mind, yes, this too shall be burnt. When, the insurmountable snake of time burns me to ashes, yes, this too shall be burnt. The only thing that will last will be my relationship with you, Guru Maharaj.
All the temporary goes and that remains.
And your presence in this space, and chanting in your presence was such a powerful experience.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get up at midnight.
Me too. So that sustained me, Guru Maharaj, just your presence and knowing that the only upadhi, the only identity that will remain after this body is burnt will be my relationship with you. So thank you.
Well, a comment and a compliment. Because I was seated like this and you were right there. The deity's over here, but, I moved my chair, but you were right there. So your posture and, you physically, you're doing things that would enhance focus and concentration. It's like, a picture from head, neck, and spine straight. Your you're physically doing things that would be very conducive, as opposed to somebody else whose name I won't mention. I commented to them, you chant like you're a sack of potatoes. I won't mention the name, but they know who I mean. And you can't be attentive. So, it's a compliment. Now, I asked Mara to please be ready to have the drama right now. Are you ready? Are the actors and actresses ready? Okay, invite them in. So we're going to shift gears. And part of the reason for this, at the end of the drama, so Amrita Kelly can do the Amrita Kelly, and so that we can have a little kirtan after. I'd like to end with the kirtan. And Uma, can you lead the kirtan at the end? She's pointing at Sri Rupa. Sri Rupa's pointing at Uma. You chant together. You're a good team. Okay, so here come our actors and the coordinator. Do you need a microphone? Would you like a microphone to introduce what's going to happen next? Yes, okay, good. I thought so. Someone that has a microphone, give Amara a microphone. Now, where do you want us to sit? Do we stop? Do we sit right where we are? And they come, I move out and they stand here? What do you want?
Maharaj, this is fine.
Okay.
We are just going to spread this screen.
Okay,
That's it.
okay.
So thank you very much, Guru Maharaj and all the organizing team of Festival of Holy Name to give us this opportunity of little service of glorifying the Holy Name and Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this pastime is pastime of Amogha offending Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the Leela we have picked up, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's magnanimous nature is such that he easily and very lovingly